Hello, I'm tatocat. Welcome to my channel. Today we are playing Lucid9. This is going to be another live recording today. Not because of my video editor, but because I meant to post something yesterday and I just didn't have time to do it. So I'm doing it now right before I have to do, adult things since I have some extra time. So last episode we witnessed a lot of death of our Shoji. We weren't really that close to Shoji, but death of Soji, death of our sister, death of our friendships, and now we're going to do a death-inducing walk. It's pretty much where we left off. Yeah, let's continue. I just can't take it anymore. Any of it. I close my eyes and pick up my speed, feeling the wind blister my face, my lungs plead for air, and my heart is throbbing painfully against my chest. But I don't bother stopping. Here we go, District 6. At the dead of night, perfect place for an ignorant, thankless lowlife like me. Damn it. I drop against the wall, fighting for breath. A couple of shady figures eye me from the alleyways, but when I meet their gaze, they turn away. I wouldn't mind a fight, honestly. Wouldn't it feel good, maybe? Cathartic? A good old fist to the face. Maybe I'd die. We didn't die when Masato punched us. I deserve it. I shouldn't have said those words. It didn't matter that I was angry. It didn't matter that I felt unjustified. Rui didn't deserve words like that. Not when she's been by my side. Not when she's been my only friend. It just hurt. Even she acknowledged that I couldn't do anything correctly. She was supposed to support me, to believe in me, right? Oh, a ping from unknown. Haru? How do we know it's Haru? It says unknown. Why would he ping me? How did he get my number? How is this number my phone? Is this part of a lapse I don't remember? Maybe he set in his caller ID to be public. But that's strange to say the least, especially for a student. And why is he in District 6? I cautiously follow the indicator, keeping to the shadows as I approach. I round the corner of a denoted alleyway. But oh, well, that's never good. What? No, not now, no. Oh. And we find a body. That's not good. You're a coward. We'll see about that. Did we get stabbed? No. Here he go. Shouldn't even be here. No. Really? Don't you dare tell anyone. Why not? Look, no one can know about this. Scared someone will find out? All this time, I should have known. Why? Well, I don't think Yahiko was question mark. As they showed Yahiko. I think Yahiko might be helping the killer. Or there's something super wrong with Yahiko. I jolt awake, frantically clinging to my bedpost. My vision is still swimming, my mouth dry with bitter aftertaste of anxiety medication. No, not of all times. It had to be then. I squeeze my eyes shut in vain, attempt to recall the images that have just passed my retinas, but they're already gone. What happened? Why did I see a mutilated body? Why did I see Yahiko? What did I talk about? What the hell happened? I struggle to roll out of bed, but my limbs are frozen with terror, plastered to the sheets beneath my racing heartbeat. You're a coward. Who was that? Who said that? Why did they say it? How did I... No. I seize my phone, looking through my messages, my calls, anything, a clue, a hint, a status update. I only find an email. Be the drill. Crimson Crusade. If you happen to find yourself in the midst of many strange events, don't worry. There are many who believe in you. Don't forget who you are, and don't forget who you are not. Ah yes, the mystery emailer. Is a mystery emailer the killer? The one who only started contacting me the night after my first lapse in years. The one who seems to know exactly what I'm facing, even though I don't know who they are. What a convenient response, almost as if it's exactly what I need to hear. I shut my phone, tossing it as far away from me as possible. Who am I during these lapses? The doctors, of course, have their own answers. It's just an unusual brain injury from the accident. You'll suffer brief lapses during times of stress when your memory is transitioning from short to long term. Wouldn't change anything about you, they said. You're still yourself, they said. It's just a little memory blip, they said. Maybe they're paid to tell me that. After all, no one wants to hear that they could have an uncontrollable alter ego who might very well be a serial killer. I don't think that's how it works, because nobody wants to be told they have, cancer, and doctors do that all the time. Can't trust anyone. Can't even trust myself. What am I doing while I think I'm sleeping? I lie still, fighting to keep my mind steady as I survey my next course of action. What do? Record myself? Confine myself? Report myself? What can I do if I find out that I might be the very person I'm trying to track? It's not possible, is it? It sounds ridiculous, like a half-baked plot from a second-hand book. Stupid, irrational, impossible. Just like me these past few days. Maybe I should just go to school. I can only snort at the thought. Shallow, ditzy little school, where I'll receive homework assignments on calculus problems and how Mary Nori has saved Isamu 1,000 other things that mean nothing when people are dying every day. Still, if I lapse at school, maybe someone will catch me. Maybe we'll find out once and for all. Besides, it's not like I have anything better to do. It only takes me a moment to get dressed and wolf down a quick breakfast. The food is sour in my stomach, but I force myself to keep it down. Contrary to the past few days, the entrance is packed with students. It's practically impossible to weave my way through. I peer through a crowd of heads and catch a brief glimpse of a red hair that slowly pods away. Threads of whispers shout in rapid fire at the sight. Again, they say Haru went missing and Shoji ended up passing away. Yeah, I saw the news, I can't believe it. I can. We should have expected the moment we saw them talk to Airi. Do you really think she'd do that? No wonder those girls are angry at Airi. But guys, isn't this getting a little out of hand? They even egged her this time. Isn't that like assault? You think we're too hard on her? Midori, Toma, Akane, now Shoji, and Haru. How high does the body count have to get before you start believing us? But was she even involved with... You're not taking the side of that bitch, are you? Uncalled for male student, too. Look, an adult had to step in and take your group to the principal's office. That doesn't make them look any better. Hey, no fighting. I'm shoved to the side as Masato breaks through the crowd, his jaw taut with suppressed anger. The students immediately quiet down, watching eagerly for another display with their phone cameras primed for patter. All of you better quit your yapping and scram. You little chit-chat ain't doing a thing. Despite the fact that he's the president of the Honor Society, the students know enough about Masato to not start anything. They quickly disperse into the courtyard. Masato turns to look at me. I'm hit with the memories I tried to forget. The argument at the canal, the bitter fight with Rui. It's amazing what 24 hours can do. All those encounters seem so distant. Masato curls his lower lip in disgust and strides away. It socks me right in the stomach. I'm speaking before I know it. Masato. He lifts an eyebrow at me. His body is tense with anger. I'm sorry. I don't know what I did. I don't know why you're so mad. I don't understand. But Masato cuts me off, wrapping his fingers in the end of his jacket until his knuckles turn white. If you're gonna take something from someone, man, at least take care of it. What? That was the last thing I was expecting to hear. Get to class. He storms past me and disappears into the classroom building. I'm only left bewildered and even more alone than before. This time, I really got no one. I force myself to plod to my chair. The stairwells, hallways are congested with nauseating, frivolous gossip that makes me shake my head. This is disgusting. I'm just about to slip in the classroom when a jolt of movement in the hallway catches my eye. Mr. Ryota has opened the door to the principal's office, through which a number of students are filing. His face seems unusually burdened, the most solemn that I've ever seen it. Jiro? And yes, I realize that we're just filing, but I cannot go back in this game. There's no rollback. 5 of them. Bullying, cornering the Hirika girl. Again? You don't understand, Principal. Are you really fine with a murderer running around campus? What? Throwing some kids with potty mouths under the bus to cover for her? Look, you guys will address the principal with respect, and you will listen to what he has to say. Next time I see you tossing around that kind of attitude, you'll be packing your bags. Understood? I've never heard him sound so harsh. The students instinctively step back, like he's emitting some dark aura. Mr. Ryota, how can you say that when Haru's gone? Haru Bunya? Gone? What? You didn't know? He's been gone since last afternoon. He didn't even come back to the school for curfew. But Haru's a smart kid. Didn't he know to stay? What does it matter? Midori, Toma, and Akane, they were inside the school after curfew. But they disappeared anyway. Inside, outside, it doesn't matter. We're doomed. She bursts into tears. Mr. Ryota is frozen in place, looking strangely awkward. Bring them in, Jiro. I'll handle it from here. Mr. Ryota wordlessly steps aside, watching the students file into the principal's office. When the last student has entered, he shuts the door, sighing heavily. I step forward to greet him, but something halts in my tracks. Students from this very school, gone. Yesterday at death on the subway tracks, now Haru Bunya joins the ranks. I can't trust myself. How can I possibly trust anyone else? It's got to be the stress getting to me, but I see a very familiar face as a potential enemy. I see every familiar face as a potential enemy, a puppeteer in the shadows, moving all the chess pieces into place. Mr. Ryota, something about him seems unbearably ominous, surrounded by death. Am I the killer? Is the killer someone close to me, or is the killer a complete stranger? I have been saying this for a while now, Yama. Everyone's a suspect, isn't it? I am in the same boat with you. Everyone is a possibility. Mr. Ryota is intelligent, flippant, and when he needs to be, ruthlessly efficient. Then he notices me awkwardly standing in the hallway twiddling my thumbs. Well, if it isn't my favorite delinquent. He's searching my face. I attempt to mask my expression. I can't show anything, not now. Hey, Mr. Ryota. I decide not to mention the scene that I just witnessed. Maybe it's better he doesn't know. Kid, you've got bags for days going on under your eyes. Have you been sniffing all night? Sniffing what? What? Did he seriously just say that in the middle of the school? No, I was finishing some stuff up last night. I see. You sure you don't want to talk about it? I've talked to him about my past. I'm supposed to trust Mr. Ryota. I don't know. We've got some time before class starts. It's up to you. Wouldn't it be better to run my thoughts by him? He has information about the students that I could never get otherwise. Okay. Your office? We slipped into Mr. Ryota's office without any hesitation. Mr. Ryota settles behind his desk. He's still eyeing me closely. Maybe he trusts me about as much as I trust him. Which is not at all, apparently. You're really different today, Yamo. What's bothering you? Do I really look that haggard? I thought I put up a passable front. That obvious? Once upon a time, kid, I was also a student. I pulled all-nighters for exams just like you. Except, this doesn't seem like it's related to an exam. Exams are the furthest thing from my mind at the moment, that's for sure. Mr. Ryota, about the murders. He frowns at my question. You're still interested in that? It's difficult to keep my composure up, but I managed to look him straight in the eye. Please, if you could just answer one question of mine about it. I can see the reluctance in his gaze. After a long moment, he finally relents with a silent nod. You said that the victims all had some kind of psychological problem. Could you look up their connections with... It's just a shot in the dark. I don't even know if the killer is someone who I've met in person, but I've got to see if they have any relationship with... Ooh, choice. This is a scary choice. Because I don't know if this has like any real super importance on the game. Most choices do, with the exception of the amusement park. So either Airi Hirga, Hiko Ikari, and Natsuki Tanaka. I don't think this is going to be helpful. As shady as she is, I don't think looking into Natsuki is going to be useful. So there's Airi and Yahiko. So Airi wasn't really around during the first disappearances. I mean, people are being weird against her, but they're high school students and they're not exactly the most rational thinkers. But Yahiko seems to have a connection to Airi somehow. He was in Shadyville, and he started a club for depressed people. And all of these students have some sort of mental problem, so... And we did see him in Shadyville with the body. So, let's look into Yahiko. He's super suspicious. Someone started a club for depressed and troubled students. I'm probably wrong. It was called the Happy Club, and I thought that it had the stupidest name in existence. But that club was for depressed and troubled students. Students with psychological problems. Is it really just a coincidence? Is there anything between the victims and Yahiko Ikari? Yahiko, like dumb blonde friend Yahiko? Sometimes he could be smart. Have you gone crazy, kid? What the hell would that ditz have to do with these crimes? Or it is Mr. Ryota and he's just putting thoughts into her head. That's also a possibility. Just, can you look it up, please? I hate this doubt. Everyone in my sights is being painted as a potential target. Irie, Mr. Ryota, Yahiko, even myself. I just need to find proof that I'm wrong. Right, well, you're a weird one, kid. His fingers fly over the tablet. I see its surface flashing in a myriad of colors like strobe lights at a concert. Then he freezes and drops the tablet. It hits the floor with a shrill clatter. I instinctively wince, almost expecting it to shatter into pieces. What the? Gingerly I stoop forward to pick it up. The screen is a mash of information, tidbits from the school records, patter feeds, and photos from Instacam. A group picture of a bunch of teens hanging out at a park. Face tagged as Yahiko, Ikari, Akane, Tsukino, Shoji Hasegawa, and Haru Bunya. A matching pat from Yahiko announcing that the very first meeting of the Happy Club. An update from the roommate of Midori Maeno claiming that Yahiko was harassing Midori with the most horrible pickup lines that she doesn't even like chocolate. I wonder what pickup line he used that involved chocolate. A picture of the orientation groups before school started, including Toma Hayashi as part of Yahiko's orientation group. He led orientation? No, never mind that. What is this, some conspiracy? It's like the universe was just waiting for me to dig into Yahiko Yukari so that it could flood me with information that couldn't possibly be coincidental. The common thread is Yahiko? No, this is ridiculous. I reject this reality and substitute my own. I love that line. I used to watch Mythbusters and he said that. Well, I mean, maybe there's someone else in common. But there's a trend that I can't ignore. And even worse, each victim is getting progressively closer to Yahiko. Mr. Ryota, if this is true. I look to Mr. Ryota, but he's only staring at the floor, uncharacteristic shock etched all over his face. Mr. Ryota? Huh? Oh, sorry. You know, sometimes you get so focused on something that, well, you kind of forget everything else. Does that happen to you? Often. Not you. You seem pretty fixated on the idea that Yahiko Yukari is related to these murders. You're not serious, right? I don't know. Everything seems like a possibility. It's as if I was stuck in a dark room with only vague shapes and sounds, feeling my way around, and then someone turned on the floodlights, leaving weird spots in my vision that have to be hallucinations, but somehow aren't. Just the bell, kid. Guess you better get to class. Class? We're on the verge of discovering something vital about the killer, and I have to go to class? No, I should go. More than anything, I need to cool down. Give my mind time to process the shock. Bye, Mr. Ryota. Take care, kid. I slide out of the office and race down the hall, my mind still hazy with thoughts. There has to be another explanation. I must have missed something. Maybe I just shouldn't think about this until later. When I arrive, I notice that Yahiko is already in his chair. I instinctively freeze when I see him, worries still fresh in my mind. But wait, didn't Rui say that Yahiko had been arrested? After the subway accident, hadn't he been taken under suspicion of Shoji's death? And yet, I saw him in District 6 last night. I definitely ran into Yahiko Ikari. We definitely had some kind of conversation. True, a lot of time passed because of my lapse. There was a good number of hours between the subway accident and the alley accident. But still, is it possible for someone to be released that quickly? If you're rich, it is. Did he use his personal connections? Did he call his parents to bail him out? No. I'm thinking about this the wrong way. He must have been released because they found out that he was innocent. Maybe bureaucracy isn't as inefficient as I thought. Maybe the case was finished because it was urgent. Yeah, as if that's likely. No, stop thinking about this. This is crazy. I temporarily shut my thoughts out and slip into my chair. Yahiko seems to be browsing through a patter feed. Oh, wait. We talked yesterday back in District 6. It didn't seem like any ordinary conversation either. Are we on good terms? Neutral terms? Bad terms? From my memories, I guess that the encounter was negative. If I act strangely, he'll find out about my lapses. What do I do? Then again, he's got someone's death weighing on his mind, someone who he knows. If he was an innocent witness, he'd be traumatized, he'd be different. How exactly do I act with someone who... Why, hello, my good minion. Apparently he's just fine. Yeah. I jerk backwards, but he only grins brightly, waving his hand in front of my face. Feeling a bit under the weather? No worries, have some coffee, straight from Buckster Coffee House. He thrusts an insulated cup at me. I peer through the lip. Sure enough, I see thick caramel liquid that froths in a warm whirlpool. Hesitantly I take the cup. The heat caresses my cold hands. Is it poison? My mind supplies. I shut it down. Right, because he wouldn't murder you in front of everyone when he'd be surely the suspect currently, especially just after the whole Shoji thing. Oh, no need to thank me. I'm naturally this generous. Yes, because his kingliness often shows, such delightful things and niceties to us peasants. A sharp chill runs down my spine. Is it possible to act so natural after seeing someone die? After seeing blood, tasting blood, hearing blood? Why is he grinning? Why is he acting like nothing happened? I didn't know Shoji that well. And even now, Yahiko. Hey, sounds like the morning bell. I'm going to chat a little with Misaki. He bounces away with a spring in his step. What? Maybe this has something to do with our exchange yesterday. There's no other reason why he'd be able to completely ignore death, much less the death of someone he knows, unless... Students, seats please. The rest of the class rushes to their chairs. The commotion drowns out my thoughts. I force myself to pay attention through class. It's preferable to getting visions of bloody, beaten bodies. I answer the teacher's questions at every chance I get, and actually listen to the lecture. Apparently, it's such a rare occurrence, the entire classroom is staring at me by lunch. Well, excuse me for being a good student for once. Still, break is break. Any momentary curiosity immediately halts at the first chime of the bell. Ehiko tugs at my shoulder, his face still alight with a cheery grin. Lunch, Calf, the old gang. Does Yahiko not know that Rui and I aren't talking, and Masato and I aren't talking, and we don't know who we're currently talking to, because Yahiko's a little weird? I steel myself and look straight into his eyes. I saw you at the train station where Shoji died. Yahiko freezes. His expression flickers for a single moment, almost too quick to catch. I saw your face. What happened? Why were you there? His face flattens. A stab of guilt wrenches through my stomach, but I try to squash it. I need to know who I'm talking with, and who's talking. Come on, minion. If we wait too long, the lunchtime will take forever. A hungry overlord is not a happy overlord. Yahiko. Well, guess there's no forcing you if you don't want to come, even if you're a minion. Ta-ta for now. Ta-ta, Yahiko. He quickly prances out of the room before I can slip in another word. I can't suppress a shudder of revulsion. The fact that Yahiko's acting the same as he always does is... it's terrifying. Moreover, I've done nothing to ease my fears about my lapses. I still have no clue what happened yesterday, why I saw a bloody body, why I ran into Yahiko. Is this Natsuki? Because she tends to pop up at random times. You are disturbed. What happened? Oh, it's Peach Girl. I almost jump at the sudden voice from behind. Irie is seated on the edge of the table, munching quietly on the peach. What the... where did you come from? Last room 2D. Well, I know that. She only tilts her head at me, like a perfectly collaborated machine, waiting for a simple command. Calibrated. Yeah. Like a soulless doll ready to kill. No, I need to stop this. These are people I'm talking to, not machines. And they're not killers. And I'm not a killer. And they're just ordinary students at an ordinary school. This is an ordinary school. Something is bothering you? I falter my words and cold in my mouth. My thoughts are building up in my head, pounding incessantly, begging for exit. Should I talk with her? Nothing. Really. Just tired. Irie inclines her head, clearly disbelieving, but eventually turns her attention to the peach in her hands. Nothing is wrong? Yeah. She gracefully slides off the table, staring at me. The cafeteria is serving special Salisbury steak. Go. It is delicious. Is this her way of comforting me? Honestly, I can't see her calling anything delicious except peaches. Okay. Didn't she eat all those ribs before? She only continues to stand and munch on her peach, as if waiting for something. What's wrong? Are you going? Okay, we'll end here for today. I'll see you next time. If you haven't already, comment, like, subscribe. I am tatocat. Have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon.